Nuggets have played an outstanding first half of basketball. Energy and execution. And goes Jokic.
This is straight up to infinity and beyond right here. Nikola Jokic feels the two defenders on him.
In 2014, NBA scouts watched a young Serbian player perform his vertical jump test. The result? Just 17 inches, one of the lowest ever recorded. Many wrote him off that day. They couldn't have been more wrong. Today, this same player has matched Magic Johnson in triple-doubles, is being compared to Larry Bird, and has revolutionized the entire sport. But here's the real mystery. How did a player who was drafted while a Taco Bell commercial was airing transform into the most unstoppable force in basketball? He blooms like a rose, or cascades like a waterfall. This isn't just a story about basketball. It's about how one man who doesn't jump high, doesn't run fast, and would rather be at the horse races completely reshaped what we thought was possible in the NBA. This is the story of Nikola Jokic. And trust me, by the end of this video, everything you thought you knew about basketball might just change. Before every game, Nikola Jokic performs this simple ritual, like a musician tuning his instrument. But what follows is anything but gentle. Watch his arms after each game, covered in scratches, his triceps marked from battle. This is a player who sets savage screens, who grapples constantly with defenders, yet somehow, those same hands, those precise fingers that his agent Mishko Rajnatovic described in all caps as the biggest talent I have ever seen, can deliver passes with the delicacy of a surgeon. The numbers in 2024 tell an impossible story. 29.6 points while shooting an astronomical 62.4%, 13.2 rebounds, 10.7 assists. His 138th career triple-double, equaling the legendary Magic Johnson for 4th all-time. Just days ago, against Golden State, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. His third career game with those numbers, matching Larry Bird and James Harden for the most in NBA history. But here's what makes the gentle giant truly extraordinary. These aren't just numbers. They're brushstrokes in a masterpiece that's still being painted. He's like the Arkansas River coming down off Independence Pass. And this river? It's just starting to flow. In the modern NBA, every touch, every second with the ball is precious. Yet here's something that defies logic. Nikola Jokic touches the ball more than any other player in the league, but holds it for less time than 150 other players. Think about that. He's not just playing basketball, he's conducting a symphony at hyperspeed. Watch this sequence. No catch, no dribble, just pure instinct. As LeBron James said after being eliminated by the Nuggets, he sees plays before they happen. The NBA has changed. Pace and space, they call it. But while others adapted, Jokic transcended. He's mastered what NBA executives call the game's new geometry, but he's writing his own mathematical rules. Multiple times in crucial moments, he's done something extraordinary. Recognized complex plays the opponent is about to run, simply by seeing how players are positioned. Then immediately orchestrated the perfect defensive counter. His teammate Aaron Gordon said it best. He expands the game, but there's more to that quote. Gordon continues. He also shrinks it for his teammates, letting them focus on what they do best. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's chess at the speed of light. The court is his board, and every player, teammate or opponent, is moving exactly where his mind already calculated they would be. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to a place where this revolution truly began. Sombor, Serbia, a leafy town near the Hungarian border. Here, in a modest two-bedroom apartment, 3 brothers shared a dream and a tiny indoor basketball hoop. The youngest of them was Nikola. His older brothers, Strahinja and Nemanja, didn't just play with him. They forged him. Their games were full-contact battles. And sometimes, Strahinja would throw knives around Nikola's head just because he refused to climb a tree. But there was something else at play here. Since the 1970s, Serbia, then part of Yugoslavia, had been developing a revolutionary basketball philosophy. as Serbian Hall of Famer Vlade Divac explains. When I started playing basketball, I was tall, and I knew down the road I'd play forward or center. But playing youth basketball, the coach made me play guard and handle the ball. This wasn't just training, it was transformation. Every player, regardless of size, learned every position. And young Nikola? He took it further than anyone imagined. NBA games aired at 3 a.m. in Serbia. Young Jokic couldn't watch them live. But then came YouTube, and everything changed. He studied obsessively. Magic because of his passing, Hakeem because of his post moves, and Jordan because he is Jordan. Then, Mishko Rajnatovic, owner of Megabasket, noticed something in the local papers. Box scores from a young player that defied explanation. His first coach there, Dejan Milojevic, had two immediate reactions. First, this kid wasn't in shape to play professional basketball. Second, he was going to be a star. Milojevic created a drill that would seem impossible. One assistant would hold up fingers on one side of the court, another on the opposite side. Jokic had to add up the total number of fingers while making split-second basketball decisions. Most couldn't do it with one assistant. Jokic mastered it with two. But what happened next would shake the foundations of basketball itself. June 26, 2014. The NBA draft is in its final stages. Most viewers have switched channels. In fact, a Taco Bell commercial is playing when the Denver Nuggets make the 41st pick. No fanfare, no excitement. Just a name that most couldn't pronounce. As executive Tim Connolly would later reveal, there was an optic bias. The athletic tests in Santa Barbara had shown a 17-inch vertical leap, one of the lowest ever recorded. The Nuggets had actually drafted another European center first that night, Jusuf Nurkic. The team tried everything, playing Jokic off the bench, playing both centers together. Nothing worked until December 15th. Coach Michael Malone makes a decision that would change NBA history. Jokic becomes the starting center. Denver fans now call it Jokmas. What happened next was basketball alchemy. The Nuggets' offense exploded. Not because Jokic was scoring, but because everything flowed through him. As one executive noted, he seized the court from above, just like Magic Johnson did. Players started moving differently, cutting more, running harder. Why? Because they knew. If they moved, Jokic would find them. If they cut, easy baskets would appear. The ball would arrive before they even called for it. His connection with Jamal Murray became basketball poetry. In the words of the team, they did a kind of dance, creating space, throwing off defenders who had to account for the myriad possibilities of what might happen next. By June 2023, the transformation was complete. The 41st pick, who no one wanted to watch, had reshaped an entire franchise. The Nuggets weren't just champions. They had become something entirely new in basketball history. But even in that moment of triumph, Jokic remained true to himself. When asked about the championship parade, he sighed and said he needed to go home. Then he smiled and added, "You know that I told you that I don't want to stay on parade, but I want to stay on parade. This is the best." In the summer of 2023, as NBA superstars crafted their social media legacies, the Finals MVP was somewhere else entirely. At a racetrack in Serbia, surrounded by horses. No Instagram, no brand deals. Just Jokic, who once said of his beloved horses, "I like the smell of them. The best feeling ever is when you feed them." His championship ring? He ties it into his shoe before games. But this isn't just a story about being different. In January 2024 against Golden State, Jokic showcased why he's being called the world's best player. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. The numbers wrote history, but the game showed something more. Even his greatest rival, Joel Embiid, after their intense battle in Philadelphia, acknowledged he's the Finals MVP, until someone else takes that away. Hours later, Jokic was spotted having wings and beer at a local bar. Then came January's heartbreak. His mentor, Dejan Milojevic, the coach who first saw his greatness, passed away at 46. A perfect man, Jokic had called him. "When I grow up, I would like to be like Deki." The very next game, against the undefeated at home Boston Celtics, Jokic sat alone before tip-off. Then he went out and did what Deki taught him. He let the game flow through him. Denver ended Boston's 20-game home winning streak. Now, in 2024, having matched Magic Johnson with 138 triple-doubles, standing fourth all-time, Jokic isn't just chasing records. He's showing us something far more profound. In an era obsessed with brand and image, he's proving that true greatness doesn't need explanation. It simply is. Remember that 17-inch vertical jump? The draft pick during a Taco Bell commercial? The kid who drank Coke by the liter and couldn't watch NBA games because they aired at 3 a.m.? He's now being compared to Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not because he plays like any of them, but because he's created something entirely his own. As Bill Walton described it, he blooms like a rose or cascades like a waterfall. In an NBA obsessed with athleticism, he proved that the most powerful muscle in basketball is the mind. He's reshuffled not just the nuggets, but the very concept of what's possible in basketball. As his teammate Aaron Gordon said, he's so congruent, the same person on and off the court, authentic in every moment. In his own words, basketball is a live thing. You cannot say, "Oh, this is going to happen." Yet somehow, Nikola Jokic always seems to know exactly what will happen next. This isn't just the story of a champion. It's proof that greatness doesn't need to fit our expectations. Sometimes it arrives in the most unexpected package. A gentle giant from Serbia, who would rather be at the stables than on social media, reshaping basketball one impossible pass at a time. And the most incredible part? He's still writing new chapters in this revolution. The Joker isn't just playing the game, he's reinventing it. If I see something, even if it's risky, I am going to try it. Because maybe that mistake is going to open up something else, or next time, it is going to be there. Just to give it a chance.